That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love,
y'all know what it is. What's good, everybody?
What's good?
It's Friday. Normal day that we do the podcast. The normal day. But that's going to switch. And a lot of things are going to switch with the podcast. But we ain't going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that later. Even maybe at the end. So make sure y'all pay attention. So what's good, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. Cedric D. Sanders. That's what it is on the That's What I Said, the podcast, live and direct on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or wherever you get your streaming podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast for that matter, whether it's Apple, Google, Spotify, we there. So download whatever app it is that you need to download so you can listen to the podcast whenever it gets done. When we do this live, it'll be available. Or you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I appreciate you. If you're watching on Facebook, man, send them stars. Them stars helps the podcast. And if you're just watching on YouTube, share it. Facebook, share it. Any platform you listen to it, share it.
Absolutely.
So, what's good, babe? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm especially well. Everything is peachy right now. What's good, Lisa? I see you in the comments on Facebook. What's good, sis?
Hey, sis.
Sitting over there chilling. But
I'm ready to get this thing started.
I agree. So we did some changes to how we're going to deliver the podcast, and the reason why is because as your audience base expands, you got to be able to expand not just your ways of communicating, but you have to be able to be available to the audience. Meaning, I needed to not just structure the podcast, I needed to be more, let's say, organized. Not that I was misorganized or unorganized. I just felt like I needed to be a little bit more professional when it came to doing said podcast. So when I took the time off, literally what it was for was rebranding. So if you haven't noticed, I do got new logos. I do have a pretty good team right now. We are stepping into the realm of expanding. That's what I said. And it's going great. So there will be a website. I won't give you the date right now because we're still in the testing process right now. I will have merch, coffee mugs, clothing with the new logo on it. So watch out for that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with anybody that you love, anybody that you want to get this information that we're going to be sharing on this podcast. A lot of it's motivational and a lot of it's financial awareness. So we're going to definitely start dipping a little bit deeper into that. And we will have deeper conversations, not just about financial and motivation. We will step into a lot of realms of relationships. We'll stop into realms of loyalty, because that's a big thing for me. And we'll have a lot of breakdowns. So there'll be a myriad of different topics that you'll get on That's What I Said. However, those topics will, in a sense, be structured solely based on financial awareness, motivation, as well as relationship and personal development. So
stay tuned.
Yes.
Tap in.
Yes. Make sure you tap in.
Join the discussion. We will be live twice a week now.
Yes, we will be going live twice a week. So I'm glad you brought that up. So what's going to happen is That's What I Said will be available 2 days out of the week. I haven't announced those days yet or the times, because we're still kind of trying to, figure that piece out. But make sure that you are paying attention and you are following the That's What I Said Facebook page. So if you're joining on Facebook and you already follow the page, you're good to go. But if you share this and you want other people to follow, please make sure they join that Facebook group, because that's where I'm going to announce the new days and times when the podcast is going to be available. And I may be switching platforms when it comes to that, meaning I want to be more accessible to my people that I bring on to interview, and especially my audience. I want it to be a conversation with people. What's good, Mario? You see, I got stars now. I got stars now.
See?
What's good? My brother that's in Arizona, my Navy brother. That's what's up. So make sure you guys are following the group. Make sure you share this with people. Make sure that you are, and it is huge. Make sure that you get people to not just listen to the podcast, but to, interact with us. And I will be hosting a YouTube channel. I have one, but I really wasn't talking too much about it. This podcast does go to that YouTube page, but I am going to a bigger streaming platform that automatically goes to YouTube. So I will be periodically going live on Facebook, but my podcast will not be live on Facebook, at least not right now, because Facebook's analytics and everything and the way they do videos is not up my alley right now. And now that I got a team that's working with me on my podcast, they're strongly suggesting go to YouTube. And if you want to share it on Facebook, you can. But to have the stream available on Facebook, that's where your traction, it gets lost at, and it gets lost in the sauce. If you primarily, go to Facebook,
right?
Go to YouTube.
Their algorithms have gotten so jacked up.
Yeah. So even if you're a gamer, their numbers are starting to go down. So anyway, more to come on that. So make sure you're in the group. The last thing that I'll discuss before we really get deep into the topic is the merch that will be on the website.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited for that.
So
I really am.
Later in March, I will be sharing actually, it might be a little bit sooner, but right now my target date is like toward the end of March, sometime after St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to show what merch we're going to have that's going to be launched on the website. I know for a fact we're going to have coffee mugs. I know for a fact we're going to have some type of shirt, whether it's a long sleeve or I know it's a t-shirt for sure. We're going to have definitely t-shirts, but I'm in a conversation right now where I want to get some hoodies, because it doesn't matter to me what the weather is. A good hoodie when it's, chilly, or even when it's warm and you just want to chill, and the only thing you have on is a hoodie, then that's what it is.
Straight facts.
So
Hoodies are for any weather.
For rack, I mean, period, you know. So you go to the damn lake, shit, you're going to take a damn hoodie with you, even though you might be in shorts.
Right.
So when that merch drops, it's going to be a few added incentives within that merch. So I will have the merch available, and then the merch will have discounts available upon subscriptions. Yes, subscriptions. I'm working with Patreon right now to get a subscription base, not just with the financial awareness and the motivational piece, that you will have your own private content, specifically not even detailed just directly for you, but it will be directly for you. Then there will be private content that will be for a group of people. So I'm working on those Patreon prices and everything. And once those land and I get those all the way solidified, that is going to be where the more of that's what I said is going to be about. That's what I said is going to be the conversation and the invitation for people to not just listen to the podcast, but to actually subscribe, because there's more into potatoes than it is sour cream. So I want the potato to be big so you can put as much sour cream in there as you want, but you got to bring the sour cream.
Is it going to be a fully loaded baked potato?
No, it ain't going to have no bacon in it. It might have some chives and shit. I don't do the pork.
No, I know.
I mean, we can do some turkey bacon, kind of crispy, and crumble it up in there and see what's cracking with it. But I mean, I don't know. I ain't trying to do all that. So anyway.
So we have a comment. Lisa, our sis, asked about the stars and how they can send them. And the only way that I can see how to do the stars is it's right above where you do your comments at, if you're on your mobile device. I'm not sure about the web.
I'll give the short version. You click in the comments, and when you click the comments, you'll see stars above your comments. When you click how many stars you want to, send, it'll pop up another button that says send stars. So that's what I said, blah, blah, blah. Add stars to your balance. So if you don't have stars to your balance, you have to purchase those stars. And they start off as little as 99 cents for 45 stars. And then it goes all the way down to 6,400 stars for $99 or $100. Mind you, these are not the stars you're sending me. These are just the stars that you will have in your balance. Then once you have stars in your balance, you're going to click that balance, and then you'll be able to type in how many ever stars you want to send. Yes, you will have to do a credit card, debit payment, whatever, and there it is.
Like Facebook Pay or something. It goes through like Facebook Pay or something like that. Yeah.
So I don't get the benefits of the stars until they accumulate. So the reason why I was telling people is, just send the stars for appreciation if you like the podcast and everything else, or you could donate as well if you're on Facebook. I mean, if you're on YouTube, whatever the case may be. Everybody that's watching me on Facebook, of course, is probably looking at the glasses sitting there by the comments. And that's my tip jar. Got some coins in it. It's an interactive thing. So when you send a donation, the coins get dropped up into the glass, and that's my bourbon money. So let's be real.
Appreciate you, sis. I see your comment.
So I appreciate you, sis. So anyway, so let's get into this.
Yeah.
Start the podcast. Sorry, I had to do all that introduction in the beginning because I haven't done a podcast in a while, blah, blah, blah. So on with the podcast. Tonight we're going to discuss, would you rather be distracted by? Would you rather be distracted by? I didn't get the whole gist of the topic because this is something I said. This was not something that, it became a topic, but this is something I actually said. And we'll get into that in about 10 minutes. Let's do some housekeeping. Podcast is about motivation and financial awareness. So I have to give the financial tip of the week. I don't have no music for it because, it's always a conspiracy theory. So I'm going to create music for it so it has its own intro, but for this podcast, we will do without it. So my financial tip of the week is understanding what financial awareness is. A lot of people don't know what financial awareness is because of the distractions. They've been distracted. They've only been reactive to their situations and how they had to better their situation. Some people are always good with money. Some people are really bad with money. But if you have financial awareness, you should never go over to the unbalanced side to never be okay with money. You have to have a relationship with money. And people say, no, you don't. You have to have a relationship with yourself and God. Well, you can pinch your pinky toe and I guarantee your stomach won't hurt. But if I hit you hard enough, I can make your pinky toe hurt without never touching your pinky toe. There's a difference in that conversation, especially when the person that's saying it actually means that shit. So,
I'm so done.
I'm just saying,
wow.
If you get distracted in life, you miss all of the one-line conversations you could possibly have to educate people. And not even just, to make them sound stupid, because some of the people that we listen to, they sound condescending. They say that they're the educators. They're the ones that's going to get you in the know. They're the ones that's going to be able to, make this a easier way for you to understand or learn. But they condescending because they make you feel like shit. They make you feel dumb. They make you feel less than. And that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is be able to provide this essential knowledge that I think people should have, and just to be able to move forward when it comes to finances, and stop letting it be a conversation of, no, we don't need to know about it. It should have been taught to us in school. So you're just going to be dumb about it and always beg for money? No, I don't want your Cash App no more. If we can't learn financial awareness and be able to just actually grab a hold of how to make better financial decisions, we're never going to get past this.
Yeah, you're right.
So the tip of the week is understanding what financial awareness is and being able to essentially make it a part of your life to where it gives you a better way of managing your personal finances, and you'll be able to make better financial decisions because of it. So the tip has 4 tips in it, maybe 5. Tip number 1 is always make sure you track everything you spend. The money that comes in, track it. Everybody's like, oh, I never knew how to, balance a checkbook or anything else like that. I just pull it up on my phone and I see the transaction, so I know what payment went through. Okay, but are you tracking your expenses? Tracking your expenses means you actually write down and calculate how much you spent. Doesn't matter if you just whipped your card out because, one of your grown-up kids didn't have the money and you said, I'll pay for it, don't worry about it. And you swiped it or whatever. It don't matter. I got it. Did you take that into account? Or the account when you went to Walmart or you went to the grocery store, wherever, people shop nowadays.
Right.
To go shop, and you didn't really have a budget in mind. You had a mind of what you needed in the house. See, this is how we think. I can tell you right now, my mom had a budget. My mom had a budget, and I paid attention to this woman every time she went to the store. It was no larger than $120. It was me, my father, my younger brother, and me. 4 people in the house. Back then, like $120.
Shoot, $120. That stuff went a long way.
Oh, a month.
Now, shoot.
It was more like 2-3 weeks. It was literally almost a month, but it was like maybe 3.5 weeks. But she knew how much she had to spend and how much she could spend. Did she have extra? Yes, she always had extra to spend, but she got the same thing. And it was not really the same thing, but it was more of complimentary of getting the same. Got hamburger meat. She got chicken. Y'all want pork chops this week? Okay, we do pork chops.
Milk, bread,
eggs. Cereal, eggs, that type of shit. So anyway, when you know how much you're going to spend, that's one thing. But nowadays, we don't spend like that.
No.
We go to the store and get what we need to go get. However, we're going to go get, and this is where the separation happens. People that got money are going to get the best quality food, but more bang for your buck. So even if you have, a good salary, your mentality is, I got the money to spend it. I'm going to buy what's better.
Yeah.
When you're middle class, you're going to get what's better at the store you shopping at.
Right. But it's true.
Period.
It's very true. It's very, very true.
So it doesn't matter if it's Walmart. I don't give a damn what store you at.
Yep.
Let me hold $10 as a tip for a day. Yes, 120, bro. My mom would spend $120, and this was back when I was like, man, this was telling my age.
You was a youngin'.
This is the 80s, because shoot, the early 90s, I was in high school. I graduated in 92. So, but nowadays we actually go into the store, we get what we want. Yes, if the price goes up, it's like, damn, I still got to get this, and this.
Yeah.
But now we have people that when they go to the store, if you have a budget, you making real life decisions at this point.
That's also facts.
I mean,
because really and literally, you're debating between, do I really need this, or do I need that money to put gas in my car to get where I need to get to this week,
or
work,
or do I have enough money to go to the club and fuck this $150 that I was gonna spend?
Nah,
this is how much money I put in I put $300, but I've got to ball out. And absolutely, bro. I'm
damn.
That's like the key strategy. I'm gonna save that comment because I'm gonna come right back to that. Okay, babe. I'm
finna pin it.
So let's going forward. You have to track your expenses. And how do you track your expenses to the point where you know how much you're spending opposed to how much you're saving? Now, let's not have this conversation about banks and saving. We're just going to say a place to hold the money. Y'all can call it saving all you want. Savings is supposed to have a added interest value to it, being the fact that this bank wanted you to bank with them. Most banks, you're going to get, I don't care who you're with, you're going to get 0.01%, which means what?
Not a damn thing.
You put, and I've said this conversation before, you put
not a damn thing.
$10,000 in the bank, you hold it there for a year. Guess how much you're going to make when you go back to the bank and look at that? $1. And then what happens to that dollar? It's taxed. So we have to understand that this place that we're putting our money in right now is just a holding pattern.
Yep.
So when you separate your bills, and I love what my brother Mario said, I find it easier to have multiple bank accounts, one for bills, one for food and bullshit, and one for savings. And that, if it's easier that way, to me, it would be easier that way to have 3 accounts and to have it set up just in that fashion, because you know what card you're going to pull out for bills. You already know. Or if they're all electronic or online, everything goes to that one account. You already know how much you got to put in that account. If there's leftover money, do you take it out and put it into another account? No, you leave that shit there.
Yep. For the next time.
You go to your other account, the ones for food and bullshit. You stack that up based on the average of how much you spend in the grocery store every 3 months. One of those months is a fuck off month. We already know that. It better not be around Super Bowl. And your team's in it. I'm just saying, that whole budget just went to shit. Period. I don't care.
Yeah, you're right.
So you have to be able to be you have to be loyal to yourself when it comes to this, tracking your expenses. Set financial goals. Setting financial goals is one of the key things when it comes to financial awareness, because it teaches you mindset. If you set up a short-term and a long-term goal and say, for the short term, because I've never done it, I want to save $5,000 in the next 3 months. And then a long-term goal is I want to hit $10,000 in my bank account in the next 6 months. And this is how I'm going to do it. That's setting goals, because now you're making you're creating a situation or a plan that's there for you to accomplish financially. Because really, and truly, all you're doing is maximizing your capability to allow your money to grow, because you can put it somewhere else when it gets to that threshold. At $10,000, you can put your money into a different bracket in the bank.
Right. And that bank gonna treat you different.
And I'm telling you, yeah, the bank is gonna treat you differently.
It don't matter. They're gonna treat you differently.
When you get to
call
20
you by your first and last name, Mr. and Mrs. So and so.
Oh yeah, but
come back here.
The benefits come when that account gets to 25 and 50,000.
Oh yeah.
And when you get into the six figures of $100,000, the conversations with them become a lot more pleasant, where they call you knowing you got to come to the bank. So that you get the teller that you like. It's like you can.
They got coffee and donuts and crap.
Oh no, they got champagne and apples for you cut up.
Wine and cheese.
Shoot, they got a masseuse there.
I'm done.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you go in the backpack. You don't stay up in the front.
The other thing I'm gonna touch on this, and I'm briefly gonna touch on this, and we're going to go to the motivational quote of the week. But review your credit report. You got to know the detailed structure of what's on your credit report. And the reason why this is important is because this is the key factor of how people live better lives when they know what the fuck's on their credit report. Because you're not taking risks that you know you can't achieve financially if you know it's on your credit report. Some people have never reached the threshold of being above 800. And they was like, what for? What I need an 800 for? As a black man, I'm going to tell you something.
Ooh.
There's a game that y'all don't even wish to play. But when tax season come around, y'all ignore this fact. Ignore it completely. You have money that people wish they could have when they get a tax return, so that they can do money moves that they've been wanting to make, instead of these little piddly ass little $10, $20, $100 moves. They may make a little bit of coin and shit like that, but it's nowhere substantial enough to where if they have $5,000 to be able to put somewhere, because they know for a fact in 3 months it's going to make some money for them that's going to be, rewarding, not just for the fact of having the extra money, but the fact that you'll be able to actually do some shit
right
the way you want. And that may be because of inflation, because the cost of things have went up. I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. But review your credit report, including loans, credit cards, and any debt you may have. That is, you bought a house? Mm-hmm. This comment made me laugh because it's true.
Right.
I'm waiting on my taxes, waiting on the return to come by so I can buy that damn BMW that's got 243,000 miles on it. And you still got to rotate the tires.
And change the oil yourself.
Right. So getting your credit report is getting all your debt. And this is going to go back up to the first question I said. Track your expenses. The last thing I'm going to say about this is educate yourself. You can educate yourself by listening to this podcast. Later on, subscribing. You're going to get a whole lot deeper conversation, because this is just things that I've become to know when I decided to change how I see finances, instead of always having this dream and wishing I could and knowing I could, but just never taking the steps that I could. And then when you took the steps that you could and you see the rewards of those steps, it's like, oh shit, I just got to do this all the time. Oh, if I do it all the time, what? This lady just came and just knocked all the crust off the bottom of my foot, just massaging the hell out of it. I'm like, okay. So having this conversation, but being able to have conversations and sit down with millionaires.
Facts.
Like literally millionaires. And them
Facts.
wanting to have the conversation with you. I had one on my damn podcast.
Correct.
And people took it for granted. And I'm bringing him back. I told him I was going to bring him back in February, but he's on a family vacation right now.
Yep.
But trust me, I'm going to be right back in his inbox, and we're going to go right back to having this financial discussion, because believe it or not, that was one of my top podcasts as far as downloads.
And
I got an email about that podcast. I'll put it like that.
the wealth of information that he shared on that podcast was unbelievable. And if you didn't listen to it, you better go back to the archives and find it and listen to it.
Facts.
It's a long podcast, but it has so much information.
That's definitely a podcast you can just ride and listen to.
Yeah.
If you do a search on Spreaker.com, because that's my podcast platform, SPREAKER.com. If you go on there, go to my podcast page. That's what I said. Subscribe. You have to follow me to see all my podcasts. They're public, but at the same time, you don't get the benefits of having the own player when you listen to the podcast. But that's a whole different subject. But anyway, you scroll down and look for Interview with Richard Harden. And that podcast was probably the one podcast that I got the most downloads, like I said before. But it was the most informative because that gave me the structure of where I'm more so grounded in, where I was briefly talking about it with crypto. And then I was like, I just need to have this complete conversation about it. And now here we are. So anyway, educate yourself. So that was your financial tip. Long as hell. Shouldn't have been that long. Should only been 5 minutes, but I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I got deep into it. The next segment that we have before we get to the discussion is, of course, the motivational quote of the week.
Motivational quote of the week this week is going to help you as we go into next week and we're getting ready to start a new month. This quote should empower each and every one of you to set your goals, stay quiet about them, smash the shit out of them, clap for your damn self, rinse, repeat. This quote is being brought to you by Lauren Gleisenberg. And I'm telling you, when you're scrolling through social media of any type and you come across a quote that resonates well with you, you have to screenshot it or save it to your phone and look at it. Now, I'm telling you, next week when you start your week, whether you started on Saturday, whether you start on Sunday or Monday, set your goals, keep quiet about them, smash the shit out of each one, and rinse and repeat. That's all I got for the motivational empowerment for next week.
So I appreciate that. That was what's up. Like that is something that I think not only is meaningful, but it gives people an opportunity to be provided or to provide that motivation that they need. throughout the week. And I think that was perfect one to go into, you know, from closing out a month, going into a new month. Smash the shit out of your goals. Like, do that. I mean, don't tell nobody about your goals, because you know how people are. People are goal crushers. You know, people want to block your dunk. So, you know,
all the time.
You just got to sit out in the perimeter and see what's open. Sometimes that three is wide open. You just got to take a chance and shoot that shit. So the topic this week, you would rather be distracted by. So this is a short version. So glad if you stayed with us this long. That's what I said, the podcast. You would rather be distracted by the shit that entertains you instead of the shit that educates you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You would rather be distracted by the shit that entertains you instead of the shit that educates you. Sometimes we take, I think, a look at things from a different lens when we're actually trying to figure something out. Why come we can't do that with just life and finances? I had this conversation, you know, with my wife. We was just talking about the topic that we were doing on Tuesday. And I always come in here when she's typically sitting on the computer working, and I'll say something and she'll grab her pen. And she's learned this throughout the years to just grab a pen and paper, because if you don't, I might say something and I'll be like, oh shit, I wish I had some paper to write it down. And she's already, no, I got you.
Either that, or I'm writing a note in my phone, or I'm hitting record on my phone as a voice memo or whatever, because you always saying something and you're like, damn, I need to write that shit down.
So I said this to mean this. We have a problem with not grabbing the good piece of the pie when it's warm. Sometimes we doubt the abilities of certain things that surround us, and we doubt them based off of life experiences. Some people truly just don't trust a lot of people just because of stuff that they experience. I get it. But isn't that a distraction? Sometimes we go into a deep, I think, I wouldn't necessarily say depression. It's more of we go into this deep, I don't want to fuck with nobody. And it becomes rewarding because you start you really are happy because now you got this time. But then you get into this lonely phase where it's like, damn, I wish I had something to do. And then in the back of your mind was like, shit, you did have something to do, but you fucked it off. When really you didn't. You did spring cleaning, right?
Yeah. Sometimes
you just got to clear the air. It's like, I got to change my circle.
You got to open that window.
But just to get to that point, ain't all that shit else distractions?
A lot of it is, yeah.
So why are we so distracted by the things that entertain us instead of the things that educate us? The reason being is because if we don't want to deal with something right now, we have a habit or we have methods that's in our life to protect us, because we know between this time and this time, my give a shit button is broken. I am doing this from this time to this time. So why come we can't do the same structure when it comes to us educating ourselves?
Because you get comfortable.
There's a percentage of Americans that spend more time on social media than they do watching TV.
Facts.
And it's not because, you know, the TV is the best, you know, thing out there. There are things to entertain us. I'm missing something that entertains me right now at this point. I'm recording it. I like man soap operas. I admit it. I have man soap operas. You know what my soap opera of choice is? Wrestling. I love me some professional wrestling, even the sports entertainment wrestling. And I like it because to me, it's just funny and it's talent and it just, it keeps you glued. It keeps you entertained. But guess what? I can do that.
Yep.
Because I'm not, and I love what, who had that in the comment? Mario.
Because we're
lazy. You're absolutely right. And it's like, as soon as you, look.
See, don't.
Hey,
you're gonna
Mario,
him.
see? Okay. So I'm going to stay on topic, but I have to get off topic real quick. And this is live on the podcast, right? So my brother Mario, who I was in the Navy with, lives in Arizona. And this particular wrestling organization that I look at did their live event in Arizona. So guess where Mario went? He went to AEW Live. And he got to watch everything that's going to be one thing that's going to be on TV tonight and one that was on Wednesday. Dynamite on Wednesday, and then we got Rampage tonight. So I love how he just came in there and did that. But see, that is the entertainment piece that I was talking about. We can entertain ourselves all day. But why don't we make time to the things that educate us? There's always time to get better, and there's always time to achieve better. Even if you believe you got the best credit or the best this or the best that.
Right.
That doesn't mean you slack off. That just means you have time to be comfortable.
Right.
If you can't budget time to be comfortable, who are you?
Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up about the education piece, because I remember, I think it was a couple months ago, you and I had a conversation, and I had seen like this class or whatever that was being offered, but it was only being offered on like a Friday or a Saturday night, and it was East Coast time from like 6 or 7 till like 11 at night. And I'm like, yo, that's a chunk of time. Mm-hmm. And what did you tell me? You told me, well, sometimes if you want to achieve a goal or get better at doing something, you have to sacrifice your time to do that. And, it didn't kick in completely until you just said what you said about the education piece and all that stuff. And I'm just sitting here like,
and some people think that I'm just talking to her.
I'm gonna kick myself in the ass a few more times.
Right. And I don't want nobody, whatever. I don't want people thinking I'm doing this on purpose. I said what I said as a blanket statement. I had that conversation that we had in mind, however, it wasn't directly towards her. The thing is that you can provide financial education, or you can provide things that you believe will help people not only educate themselves, but be smarter with the money that they have. And when you can allow people to actually be smarter than the money they have from what they work for, because we're conditioned to work. Rockefeller, you asshole. Let's not have that conversation, please.
No. We're not going back to the other day.
Yeah. Rockefeller, my ass. So
fast forward.
Yes. Where's the button? Hold on. So I refuse to go there. However, the education, and I keep saying however, I need a button for that. The education piece should always be something that's in your life. If they took time from you as a child to go to school so you can get what they consider an education, why come you can't take yourself past that? Because we know the times we live in. It doesn't matter how old you are. Yeah. It's becoming into the fact of realization today. If you know there's things that you could be better with understanding when it comes to finances, why don't you just do it? If it's ways to better your life, to motivate you, you need to take some time to sit down and listen to motivational quotes, because I'm not quite there yet. I need to understand what affirmations are and be able to say positive and encouraging motivational admirations to myself. Even when I feel down, I know I can motivate myself. This is temporary. This is bullshit, whatever it is. But have the ability to say, I'm not there yet. Just be okay with that. Because when you are getting to this process of taking time to really get to know you, you have to be aware of the fact that there's always going to be distractions. It's how you react to those distractions. It was what's going to either fuck your life up or make things worse to the point where you can't fix it. But things are meant to be fixed if they're done and there was really no purpose in you doing them. It was just to, soothe your whatever it was you needed to be soothed at that point. I like going out. I like listening to music. I like drinking with my friends. Okay. That shit will get old after a while. Then what?
Right.
Then what?
What are you going to fill that spot with after that gets old?
People don't realize you can budget your entertainment. How you need to budget. And everybody's like, a budget? Why I got to do on a budget? You going to restrict me to $60? I'll get a motherfucker to buy me a drink. Okay, then don't take the $60 and bet on that.
Damn.
I mean, shit, half the people in the damn, when it came to betting, bet that the Eagles going to beat the Chiefs.
Right.
I'm just saying. You have to take an opportunity and not a risk, an opportunity for you. It doesn't matter what you decide you want to do with your money. Not me. Sorry, I was reading the comment. I think I had a realization. Let's just say this. Listen, let me get off of that and let's go here. I had a realization personally when it came to just this very situation. And I think that's the reason why it came out of my mouth the way it did. I was distracted at several points in my life and always complaining about the things that were going on in my life. Not that it could have been prevented, but how I could have been better financially due to them. And it didn't hit me until like a few years ago. And, I don't want to go into the whole story of listening to my story. I'll have time one of these podcasts and I'll talk about it. But it gave me the humble ability to realize that I can still try to make up for lost time. I just have to do it today. I can't wait till tomorrow. And when I did that and I started taking a better look at finances, not just because of the way I needed to be better with the finances, I wanted to contradict all the negative that was going on in my financial playhouse, or I should say sleepover. Because my financial sleepover, and that's what we're going to call it. Let me write that down. Let's stop having financial sleepovers. Okay. Financial sleepovers is how you have gotten comfortable with your financial situation and you're not going to change it. It doesn't matter how many times your account goes in a negative, you still are going to do the shit that you shouldn't be doing financially. Period. At all. There is no reward for it other than you being pissed off because you ain't got no money.
Right.
When is that shit going to change? And then people will get upset or say you're not playing, you're not understanding everybody's situation. Okay, I'll call devil's advocate. We have people out in this world right now that are living basically bare minimum because these are the jobs that they can get because they have no other training. So why don't these nonprofits that get, this is my editorial, if they don't have a structure in place to educate our people, because they know the education that is in the public school system is trash.
Right.
You can't tell me that everybody that graduates high school knows how to balance a checkbook. Better yet, even seen one or know what it is.
Banks in the building.
Banks in the building was good, Banks.
You're right, Mario. You're right. And then they complain about what you don't got.
Yeah. So I learned even through the Navy, because I had some bad stenches in the Navy. And my awareness came real like later in my career. Like I was like in E6 going through a divorce, living in the barracks when I had to flip the script. And then in flipping that script, that doesn't mean you're rich. That just means you're aware.
Right.
That's rich in awareness. Period.
Yep.
So you can begin to say that I catapulted into a better understanding of what my finances are and how I can make the best of them without living beyond my means.
Yeah, you had a rich mindset.
Right. A rich man a poor man only got rich. There's plenty of rich people that became poor, but they went back to where they started from. People that are rich stay rich for two reasons. Or three. They satisfy everything that they need to do when it comes to education of what they got. Beyond that point, they only circle themselves around people that are multiplying the money that they have. Millionaires are trying to be billionaires. But the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is when you become a millionaire, there's really no classes to help you get to a billionaire status unless you actually go out there and go get them.
Right.
A billionaire, the only way you could become a billionaire if you show other people how to become millionaires.
Facts again.
So if you can't make other people do what you do, it's lonely at the top. You want your friends to get there so y'all can have better conversations. There's certain conversations you can't have with someone that's not a millionaire when you're a billionaire. One of them is I got a lot of taxes to pay. What? Right. You got a lot of taxes to pay. Bruh. I know the taxes I pay is not even something you have made in your entire life. Stop it. Stop it. We can't have this conversation. Let's talk about something else. God dang. Right. No, that's not I can't have this conversation with you. I pay $1 million a year in taxes and you talking about funky ass $40,000? What? I'll pay your taxes. You want to pay mine?
Nah.
So this is the difference in those. They can't have conversations with normal people.
Right.
And unfortunately, the normal is people that make under, or I should say have a net worth of under $200,000.
Yeah.
You have to have more than a net worth of $200,000 to even be considered in the conversation when it comes to financial matters. This is the ideas of how some rich people think. I'm not saying that it's the facts.
Mm-hmm. Or that all people.
Or that all people, but you have to look at trend lines.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain people that have a net worth well above $200,000 that will give you financial grace tips on how to not just multiply your money, but smart financial decisions.
Right.
You're not getting that with someone that has a net worth of $5,000.
No.
That's about the average of what somebody has in their apartment. People that own that live in an apartment, that rent an apartment, their net worth is about $5,000.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is.
And it's like, these are the same people that have the ambitions to want to be able to own a home, but they can't because their credit is messed up or they don't make enough money.
Right.
And then you have people that have both. They don't make enough money, but they got good credit. So it's like
they're in that catch-22, you know.
Right.
And unfortunately, whether it's a credit issue or it's a finance from a work standpoint where you're not making enough, you're caught in that catch-22 and you're like, well, damn, I'm damned if I do on this hand and damned if I don't on this hand.
Absolutely.
So which direction do I or can I actually go?
Right.
And having conversations, or listening to this podcast will get you there.
Right. So this is as well as a solution-based podcast. At least it's solution-based in the eyes of how I experience things and what I know and don't know. The solution is, it goes back to the financial tip. That financial tip of the week, it goes back to that. So if you haven't been listening to the podcast, I'll reiterate. The financial tip was understanding what financial awareness is. Educate yourself. Put yourself in a better position so that you can understand when people are having these conversations, this is what people are talking about. So you're not in the conversation blind. You can actually go to the bank and have a conversation with someone that's actually going to understand what you're talking about. Instead of you being the customer saying, can I withdraw $150? Ain't never going in there to deposit shit. Just going in the bank to see what it looked like so you can go withdraw some shit.
Because you always on the outside at the ATM.
Or at the ATM. And the ATM don't work. It's like, fuck, I got to go in this damn building.
Right. You had no intentions on having any type of interaction with people.
Nobody. It's like
You
technology.
just wanted to hit that.
Technology knew before COVID did. We was going to keep these people out from coming inside.
Ooh.
COVID hit with nobody inside.
None.
Nobody.
Doors closed.
I don't think there was a bank open in Virginia. And if it was, it had maybe 2 people in there, security guard and the manager. And I think it might have 1 teller. Everybody else was
lucky. Yeah.
Everybody else was work from home.
Yep.
So I don't know. It comes to the piece where you have to be financially aware, educate yourself, put yourself in a better position to understand how money works, what it does and what it doesn't.
Right.
When you do that, I think this quote itself or the topic is going to be a little bit better understanding, because the last thing you would want to do is hear this and know, damn, I ain't done shit. You would rather be distracted by the shit that entertains you instead of the shit that educates you. Like I said, it's got to be a balance. Not saying you can't go out and be entertained or go and do things that entertain you. What I'm saying is it has to be a balance, because how are you educating your money so that you can go and enjoy these opportunities to see people that you follow live, or listen to music, or go to a club and listen to a bunch of music and have drinks, whatever it is that you do. Not telling you what you don't supposed to be doing, but you should be smarter with your money so that you can do that and enjoy it safely.
Right.
So let's get off of that. Go into the very last segment of the podcast, which is we skimming through this shit.
So tell me why. What are we? 3 weeks later? 2 weeks later?
Post Super Bowl?
Post Super Bowl. Why they still talking shit about Rihanna, her outfit, and her supposed sexual gestures that she did during her halftime show? Tell me why. I can't. This some bullshit. Leave that girl alone.
I don't think it's her. I think this is the reason why she didn't want to do it. But outside of the whole black thing, I don't necessarily give a fuck. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is not to be an asshole or anything, but this is straight facts. We know how the media has. Okay, let me say this with perfect conviction. We have a worry in this world about what celebrities do to entertain us more so than what we need to be worrying about.
That is such a true statement.
They don't give a fuck about what we think.
So many people are so worried about what celebrities and actors and actresses and all that shit, what they doing and what they not doing, and who they out with. And man,
Mario, I'm gonna tell you a true story about this Super Bowl halftime show, and this is Candid Conversation. Hold on, I gotta play. I gotta play the soundbite because this is definitely that Candid Conversation.
This is being brought to you by Coffee Cup Conversation,
Sponsored by the 3 C's.
Third C is not here. That's our sissy Chari. She's up in New York. But Rihanna performed at halftime show, and when she was done, the house that we were at, enemy territory, nothing but Eagles fans,
and Cowboys.
I literally looked at them and said, that was probably 5 out of 10. Mario, dead ass. That's exactly what I said. I was like, she out there with a bunch of Kanye West. I was like, it's good to see her perform and do her shit. Don't get me wrong. But her tethered on a platform, going up and down, pregnant no less. Okay. Her performance, I put it like this. The songs and everything that she did was probably 10 out of 10. That situation.
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry. It was to me, like I said, it's not her fault. I think she picked the perfect selection of music and then went out there and sung the shit out of it. But the performance, it wasn't her.
No. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that she's pregnant with her second child and she could not essentially perform.
So let's take that out of the element.
I mean, if she wasn't pregnant, I think she may have entertained us.
I agree.
More.
I 110%
because her
agree.
Dance moves and all that stuff would have been very different.
Yeah, I 110%. But imagine her not being pregnant, doing the same moves she was doing, and these people would have said the same shit like they said Janet Jackson. I was offended. He pulled that nipple thing off, and I seen her titty. I was offended. When that was not something that was planned, first off. Secondly,
right, it was a whole ass malfunction.
So even if the dances that Rihanna does in her performance is offensive,
yeah,
why? I think. Yeah, why would you be even butthurt at someone that is dancing their style of music? It ain't like you can't watch their music videos.
Right.
It ain't like you can't watch their previous performances. Stop. Okay? Y'all people, and I'm saying y'all because I'm not, you can take it however the hell you want to, but I don't think I need to finger point. But y'all people really got some sticks in y'all ass. Y'all worried about the wrong shit.
For real.
Y'all know R. Kelly is serving a 30-year prison sentence.
And just got 20 more?
No, he didn't get 20 more.
Oh. I thought that's
his
what I read.
20 more runs in conjunction. Anybody knows what conjunction meant? Conjunction is a synonym for with. When you get some shit that's conjunction with, that means you doing that shit right on top of the fucking 30 years you're doing. So right now he's doing, I think it's 30 plus 1. It don't matter. He's going to be like 90 something fucking years old when he get out of prison anyway. I don't know why the fuck people are tripping about this shit. People are saying he got 20 more years. But see,
coming out.
Not to be an asshole, but this shows you how conjunction people like to come together and be dumbasses. I didn't really think that they were going to add 20 years. And the reason why is because he just got federally indicted. He was just found guilty, got 30 years. Now you mean to tell me some state shit gonna come around here and say he trapped in the closet for real?
Yep.
That they're gonna put this motherfucker in for 50 years? No. Just because his shit's televised and some of the people are coming out and he just had a baby by one of them that really didn't participate in the very last one and so on and so forth. Bruh, no. Anyway,
yeah.
I got some other shit I gotta say.
I was just gonna say, can we get to that story?
That wasn't even a skim through. That was just,
yeah.
Like
we skimming through this. This one.
So
y'all hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats, boy.
So
Ooh.
I was skimming through because that's what I do with the news. I don't look at everything. I just skim through this shit. So I was skimming through some shit last week and I found this story on homeless couple. This is the title of it, y'all. I am not making this shit up. If you want me to send you the link, send me a request on Facebook, Cedric D. Sanders, or That's What I Said. I'll send you the link. Homeless couple found living in a Walmart attic with hot plate, meth lab, and a 42-inch LED TV. Memphis, Tennessee. When I tell you tears began to run down the side of my face when I was reading this shit.
Can't make this shit up. Just can't.
So the lieutenant for the police department, I'm sure when they read this statement, this is exactly how he meant to say it, but he couldn't say it. Okay. He said, I don't mean to laugh, but these people really got one over on Walmart. In the attic, we recovered 2 pounds of meth. They had somehow produced it on the hot plate. 2 pounds of meth. They also managed to get food, drinks, mini fridge, and a big screen TV, surround sound system, and a bedroom set, hangers, clothes. I mean, if Walmart sells it, they had it.
all of this up in the attic.
In their attic, bruh.
Of Walmart. So
check this shit out. Said these people are living good, and they even managed to splice into the satellite TV wire and ordered NFL Sunday Ticket. He did this shit for 2 years and he didn't get caught. They was like, Walmart be up here watching the fuck out of some football. But they still playing this car race and shit. I ain't seen the motherfuckers throw one football. Ain't nobody said nothing. So check this shit out. They've been up there. But
please tell how they got busted.
This is the shit that made me almost pee myself, y'all. Like, I'm not done yet. This is the last piece, y'all.
Out of fucking control.
This is okay. So the couple, I didn't tell you this part. I'm sorry. It was a homeless man, 48 years old, and his girlfriend, she's 54 years old. And the guy had admitted that they've been living there for 2 years. They were living within their financial means. Yeah, you're right. They kept going to Walmart and say, hey, let's live in this motherfucker. I won't hear when all the sales start. So this is okay. So this is the last part, y'all. So the couple was discovered by employees in the break room, banging. They were discovered because they heard banging from up above. So apparently the couple was engaging in intercourse or having sex, fucking, when when their new headboard in the queen bed was banging, just banging on the attic dividers. So they said that he confessed that he also admitted, this is no bullshit, y'all. This is in this story. He also admitted to stealing KY jelly, yours and mine, which he says screwed up everything and got us busted. So I don't know if this dude was plugging KY jelly, yours and mine, But I'm like, bruh, they was up there for 2 years, sis.
Yep. 2 freaking years. And never got busted until...
Bruh, how the hell you get busted because you in there banging your girl because you didn't went and hopped, then 5-finger discounted or bought it. I don't know what the fuck he did, but he said, no, he stole it. He stole the KY jelly, yours and mine.
Yeah.
So Karma came back and ate him in the ass because he stole the yours and mine. And guess what? He gonna show you what yours and mine is. What's yours is not yours, it's mine. Oh God. So that's skimming through this shit, and we'll do skimming through this shit at the end of the podcast. So again, I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast that went a little longer than I expected. I'm sorry, y'all. But that was the podcast, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm reading a comment. Hold on real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Coming down at the night. The food and ping in the sink. I'll send you. I'm so done. He got another story. I'm reading that shit. I'm reading it on Tuesday. I'm gonna do a podcast on Tuesday, so I will read that comment on Tuesday's podcast. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. It was definitely a little bit longer than I expected, and I apologize. I'm glad you enjoyed it, sis. I really do. Again, I appreciate everybody that joined me on all streaming platforms. Thank you to boys that was on Facebook. If you sent stars, I appreciate you. People that listen on Twitter, on YouTube, everything. I appreciate the love. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it. And I will be back Tuesday with another topic. And I promised myself that I was going to close out every podcast and say what the topic is for the next podcast. I don't have it. And the reason why I don't have it is because I was not prepared. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, Mario. I appreciate you. I really do. Thanks for them stars. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Mario.
So please make sure you follow the podcast. Please make sure you actually download the Spreaker apps, because you can get notified every time I do a podcast. And I don't know why it does that. That's funny.
Thanks, sis.
I appreciate. Oh, I know that. That's my bad. That was the donation tab. That's what that was. Okay, I'm tripping. I changed the thing, and I was like, I don't know what the hell that was. That's what it was. Anyway, you got anything for the people before we get up out of here?
The only thing I have is, I appreciate everybody joining us this evening and jumping in the comments and, keeping the podcast rolling with us tonight. I'm ready for Tuesday already.
Yeah, me too.
And we just closing this one out. So
for real. Yeah. So it's Friday. It's
have a phenomenal weekend. Make sure you hit your motivation from the quote I spoke on earlier. Whether, like I said, your weekday starts on either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Hit that up, and we'll catch you on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, we will. We're going to catch you on Tuesday, and make sure that, like I said, you follow, you turn notifications on and everything so you can get notified every time we go live. That's what I said. So at the end of the day, I hope y'all enjoy the weekend. Stay tuned in and tapped in. We'll be back on Tuesday. I appreciate y'all. We out. Peace.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.